What's going on, YouTube? Me, not so much today, just out on the route. And if you hadn't heard it already, then you've been living under a rock or you just don't give a crap. I wonder if you can say crap on YouTube without getting demonetized. Anyways, the good news is that the House and the Senate passed a bill to lower your taxes. And the president went ahead and signed off on it today. So starting next year, about 80% of Americans will receive a tax cut. So what does this tax cut mean for you? Well, I don't know what it means for you, but I can tell you what it means for me. What it means for me is that each pay period, I'm going to be bringing home or paying about $50 less in taxes, but bringing home about 50 bucks more per paycheck. And yeah, to some ballers out there, that don't sound like jack to y'all, but I'm not balling like that. 50 bucks goes a long way for me. So, when you round it all up, over $1,000 a year. I think it was about $1,000. I forgot what it was when I calculated, but it was over $1,000 bucks a year for me, and just, you know, that the reduction in taxes. So in my tax bracket, I've gone from 15 to 12%. Nice, that's good for me. So what else does this actually mean for you or me? Well, that means you're not forced to buy insurance that you don't want. Now, since you're not forced to buy the insurance, that means the insurance companies might just raise their rates. Now, the news has been going on saying, yeah, you're going to get a tax break, but the insurance company is going to raise their rate. But here's what they don't tell you and what they refuse to calculate in there. You got to remember, we're not able to shop across state lines, which means that we can shop anywhere in the United States for insurance for the cheapest plan possible. So, while the news can make it sound like our insurance is going to go sky high, remember, with us being able to shop everywhere, all the insurance companies in the United States of America, they're all going to be competing against each other to earn our business, which means the prices are still going to go down. And for those who are healthy and just don't want the insurance and who are going to risk going without insurance, more money in your pocket. You're not forced to buy something that you don't want to buy. You're not forced to spend your money that you earn on something that you don't want to purchase, and then end up getting a penalty because you didn't do what the government said to do. What else does this mean for you? Well, they claim the rich are just going to be the only ones to benefit from this. Because guess what? The corporate tax rate has gone down from 35%, which was the highest in the world. It's gone down from 35% to 21%. Now, how does that affect you? You're not a corporation. Well, it affects you because when corporations don't have so much overhead, or the taxes are a little bit lower, in this case, a whole freaking bunch lower, all these corporations, big and small, can now expand. When you expand, that means you need to hire more people to do those jobs. So this tax cut bill means jobs. That means that people like me could actually go out and find a better job. That also means that small corporations and big corporations, well, if they don't want to expand, they can actually raise people's pay without it hurting them, and make their people who they find valuable stay there longer. That's right. Or since they're corporations and they're actually in business to succeed for themselves, not the people who actually work for them. They can choose to keep their own money. And as far as individuals go, again, here's something else that's good for individuals that's not corporations, but just regular people. Let's say you got a couple kids. Well, depending on your income, the maximum child tax income thingy, whatever they call that thing, I done forgot what they call it because I'm not reading my notes right now, which I pretty much go no prep on my news anyway. Just like the drag races, no prep, baby, no prep. Anyways, $6,200 is the maximum amount you'll get back for having kids. That's up. That is up more than $1,000. So because you got kids, you're gonna get back more money per child. So looks like a win-win situation. And guess who voted against this bill? Yeah, guess who uniformly voted against this bill? Because there's nothing bad about it, except that when you start making, you know, $2 million or more, then after that $2 million mark, you're going to be paying more in taxes. But guess who did not want that bill to pass? They voted uniformly no. It was the Democrats. Every last one of them who claim they want to help y'all, they voted no against it. They voted no against you keeping more of your money in your pocket. They voted no against you keeping your money in your pocket, helping your family, helping to feed your family. They voted no against all of that. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, what they kept saying about the bill. This was another negative, which is really not that much of a negative. They keep saying that it's going to add $1 trillion to deficit. They made a big deal about that. It's going to add $1 trillion to the deficit over a 10-year period. You have to understand that. That's the piece they don't really tell you. They keep saying it's going to add $1 trillion to the deficit, which sounds bad, like if it's going to happen in 1 year. But it's over 10 years when they calculate it out. More than 10 years. Now, where was these people whining about the debt being increased when Obama... Yep, I'm attacking that punk again because he sit there and let Hezbollah run cocaine into this country. They didn't say jack when he ran the debt up more than 10 trillion when he was in office. He was in there 8 years. Ran it up 10 trillion. We passed a tax cut bill to help keep families together, to keep money in their pockets. And it's going to add $1 trillion to the deficit over 10 whole years. They're not even including all the cutbacks and stuff like that. Remember, Trump did a speech. Well, not quite a speech, but he straight up told these foreign countries who are voting against us over there in the UN about us moving our embassy to Jerusalem, where it belonged, where Bill Clinton signed that into law, and everybody been kicking it down the road. There are billions and billions of dollars that we give those countries, and they all voted against us. And Trump sit there and said, hey, y'all vote against us, those billions of dollars are gonna stay home. We're gonna keep our money. So they uniformly voted against the United States of America. That's billions of dollars coming back to the United States. Those billions of dollars can help go to pay down that $1 trillion over 10 years. Those billions that we're going to save every year, among the couple billion that he's already cut the deficit by, which the news don't even tell you about that. He's already cut the deficit by a few billion. I think last time I checked, it was a little over 5 billion that he cut the deficit by, which is still a long way off of $1 trillion, but still, he was already cutting it. But they're talking about this like it's so bad, $1 trillion over 10 years. Didn't say nothing about the $10 trillion that the last president added to the debt. So, great bill. Like I said, about 80% of America is going to have more money in their pockets. They're going to get more back when they file their income taxes just for having kids. I mean, this is a win-win situation, especially for the average guy, for the little guy. Yeah, $50, at least in my tax bracket, don't sound like a lot per paycheck, but it's $50. They can go in your tank, they can go in groceries. That can be going in the savings account, especially when you're living paycheck to paycheck. It adds up. That's money that we shouldn't have been paying, and that's just with the bill. That's just with this one bill. Not only that, the job opportunities are out there. They're coming back. Unemployment is at an all-time low, especially in certain fields. The black unemployment rate is at an all-time low since the 70s, dude. Didn't know that either, did y'all? No, because the news won't tell us. They'll just lie to us and say this bill is bad. Big bad Trump is bad. Anything he do is bad. He cured AIDS, bad. He cured AIDS because he don't want Big Pharma to be making the money. He just wants to bankrupt Big Pharma. That's your news for you. Turn that crap off. Flip it on some radio and learn something, y'all. Got a lot of good stuff happening and a lot of good stuff coming up. Jobs are back. Economy's getting back on track. About all I got to say about it. Peace out.